have regular meetings?
No.
Okay. Those are some things you have to get this face-to-face. Okay? Those that are involved in representing them. State Police, Sheriff's Association, Indiana Chiefs of Police. Now, each one of these that I show you has the capability of providing one person as a voting member. And then they can assign a proxy. So if they're not there, their proxy can vote. Nobody else votes on best practices or training or anything we bring before the voting population except for the folks on this list. Firefighters Association, or Chiefs Association, Volunteer Fire Association. Now, we have 5 fire associations in the state of Indiana, okay? And we have representatives from each, but we also have 3 police. So we have 3, one from each one of those. Towing Association, Metropolitan Planning Agency, Coroners Association, Toll Road Commission, Motor Truck Association, Medical EVAC Association, Criminal Justice Institute. That's where, in the state of Indiana, our federal highway and NHTSA money comes into our Criminal Justice Institute, and then they provide funding to the state. Criminal Justice Institute gave us $80,000 to $85,000 the year before last for photogrammetry equipment. At the end of the project year, we have about $80,000 left. We asked them if we could use it for photogrammetry equipment. We gave them this photogrammetry spill. They bought off on it. And now we have all the people trained in the state of Indiana. Department of Environmental Management, FHWA, Indiana Pipeline Association. Why? Icebergs. They also transport it by rail, by truck. They're an integral part. Integrated Public Safety Commission. These are the folks in the state of Indiana that are in charge of our communication. We're just completing an 800 megahertz program in the state of Indiana. And it's not a requirement that you get on. That is a small agency. This is the way you can get on at a lower cost. Insurance Institute of Indiana. Why insurance, folks? Well, yeah, they don't want to pay claims. If we could cut down those secondary crashes, that would help them. Now, I can tell you that our Insurance Institute folks were very instrumental in the legislature to help us with that whole harvest law. I mean, they backed us 100%. So that's, yeah, lobbyists. That's very, very good. Department of Labor, why? If I get injured out of the crash scene, my people are going to investigate it, but who else is going to? Department of Labor. They're going to come in and tell you whether you did it right or not. All right? And determine if there are some things that need to be changed. Indiana Alliance Hazardous Material Responders, Marion County Health Department. We let Marion County Health Department come in simply because they are so large. It's a very large agency. Indiana Wireless Enhanced 911. We have our 911 folks in the back of the room. Emergency Medical Services, State Fire Marshal, Department of Transportation. And I'm sure that there are folks that we have left out of that. All right? Now, you have to be multilateral, or multidisciplinary. You have to be willing to communicate. You have to be willing to send somebody else to drive this. Like I say, you've already determined I'm kind of shy and bashful, taken back. But when I assign you to chair a committee, you have 60 days to bring a proposal back to us. If it takes you longer than 60 days, one of two things. Either he's the wrong person to chair it, or the topic is not worth us spending our time on. All right? So you have to put some time frames on it. And if you don't meet on a regular basis, then you'll be fragmented. And I would encourage you to get involved in a traffic incident management effort that keeps you involved. Keeps you involved. Questions for me?
Is it possible to get a copy of all the grant material?
Brian will have it, and he will determine how he can provide that. Go ahead, sir. You have a question? Okay, right here.
Yes, sir. When you mentioned multidisciplinary, what do you mean, like in general, sir? What's that?
Multidisciplinary means that there has to be law enforcement, EMS, fire, towing, 911, who else do we have here? EMS, Department of Transportation. We need to have anybody that is involved responding to the scene, or like the insurance company, they don't respond to the scene most of the time, but they have a great desire to know what's happening at the scene because they're going to be paying claims. So right now in the state of Indiana, our crash report's 4 pages long. 3 pages of it is insurance data. Okay? We could do what we need probably in half a page. But multidiscipline means there has to be more than just a couple agencies or disciplines involved. Now, the information that I provided for Brian, I have an in-time MOU on letterhead. This simply is the mutual or multilateral working agreement that we require agency heads to sign. It simply says that they are going to work with us. It explains a little bit about what the group is intended to do and asks for their signature. It also has an in-time membership list. This just simply shows, as of last year, the people that have attended and what agency or association they're with. You probably don't care a whole lot about that. It has the whole harmless law right there. It has an article I did back in 2010. It has our Indiana in-time bylaws. So it has that information out there, how we are set up, how we work, time frames, so on and so forth. Photogrammetry, report of use form, push bumper form, when they use that, secondary crash policy, the in-time agenda. This is what they went through this morning in Indiana. Let me get this to one page. This was their agenda this morning. They're going to talk about they talked about recent accidents and how that was, how they were handled. This one was 3 semis, 2 fatal. They went through that. They went through the 2011 fatal crash statistics. They have a presentation from Garner's Towing on the Florida Quick Clearance Towing Recovery. They're talking about a new program, alternate assignings program in Terre Haute. Following the guidelines, today's meetings, they're talking about Indiana mitigation of motor vehicle fluids. I have 5 gallons of fuel oil that is spilling from this truck, and you say what? I'm going to call fire or hazmat. And I say, you call hazmat, I'll gut you. Okay?
Okay. You have to get the rules. That's good. I'm good with that.
Okay, just kidding on it. But why do we call hazmat for a 5-gallon fuel spill from the motor vehicle that was in the crash? Okay, what is the definition of a hazmat spill? That's what they're dealing with today. 5 gallons from the vehicle by FHWA definition is not a hazardous spill. Okay, and can be cleaned up by towing if they are properly trained. So what are some other things we're doing here? In-time towing recovery training. One of the things they're talking about is if they're going to carry a 5-gallon bucket of kitty litter to spread on that 5 gallons of diesel fuel and then sweep it up and take it away, what kind of hazmat training do they need to have? Do they need to be operationally trained? Do they need to have some technician training? What do they need to have? But these guys also, through our after-action reports, our towing operators in the state of Indiana have no idea what NIMS is. How many know what NIMS is? Okay? Instant management. They have no idea. Our NDOT folks, when we lost those bridges for 4 days, I came into a group of about 13 or 14 engineers with the commissioner of NDOT, and I said, sir, I need one of your guys to come and sit in the instant command for our instant command center. And their eyes, as deer to headlights, look, what are you talking about? So these folks have no knowledge of that as well. So those are things that they talked about this morning in their group. In-time media guide. They're putting together some guidance for